Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
How you doing, everybody? It's your boy Kee'on.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Yo, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do, give us that, Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Yeah, man, my name is Kee'on. I'm originally from New York.
Oh, okay.
Buffalo, to be exact. That's where I was born.
Gotcha.
And, I just love music, to be honest, bro. I'm a songwriter, fluent in different many styles. Mm-hmm. And I've been kind of traveling all over the world, just getting into the craft of music in general, in different cultures and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I'm on, man. You know what I'm saying?
I dig that. What got you into music initially? What was the start like for you?
The start of music for me was really, I want to say, the Goofy movie. I don't know if you if you're familiar with this.
Shout out to Powerline.
Shout out to Powerline, bro. When I was real young, it was just something about that scene when Max did that performance for that girl. And as I was young, 5 years old, this was just a spark, really. Yeah. I was like, that's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I want to have a girl that I really like and I'm too shy to really talk to right now.
Oh, gotcha.
I want to surprise her with my talents. But what really got me on that journey was my mher.
Oh, all right.
So I had wrote a song one time when I was like 13 years old called Friday Night. And I showed it to my mom and her response was like, okay, I am the chosen one.
Oh, okay.
Her path literally.
Shout out moms.
Yeah, shout out to my mother. She was like, boy, you bad. You wrote that? You did that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, you cold. And after that, I never stopped creating music after that. I was like, okay, mommy gave me the okay.
Yep.
Now it's time to start my journey with this music thing.
Yeah.
And that was really the spark that just put me on the journey to music.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, bro.
Now, growing up, was anybody else in your household musical at all?
My whole entire family could sing except for my father.
Gotcha. Okay.
I grew up in the church, so it was really like choir and things like that. Hallelujah, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. And so everyone in my family has vocals, like my mom, my sister, my uncle, my grandmother. But I really have the talent of songwriting.
Gotcha.
I had the ability to really make it into a song. They all just could sing.
Yeah.
Not to say that.
No. That's beautiful. That is a talented.
Yeah, and
the creation of music is a separate entity.
For sure, bro. So that was the difference between me. Like, I could sing, but they can sing.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? They be blowing.
Yeah.
And me, on the other hand, was really good at paying attention to the structure of songs, knowing when to have the verse, the hook, and,
composing.
Composing.
Yeah,
100%.
No, I dig that. That's rad.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's cool that you've had kind of that foundation from the start.
For sure.
And then when did you first kind of get into the realm of music that you do now? What was the first instances where you were like, this is what I'm going for?
It was Michael Jackson's Thriller album.
Okay.
Actually, it was a few albums. Mm-hmm. But I have to, it was a combination of Michael Jackson and Boyz II Men. Mm-hmm. And just listening to their music really had me like, you know what? This is what I want to do. And not only that, I would sing to girls growing up in school. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, hold on. I might need to get into this R&B thing. But my style was never the, on a perfect day.
Yeah,
it was never
just
that.
swooping up from that low note to somehow still a low note.
You get what I'm saying?
What's up,
baby? I can. And I'm like, that's dope. But my spirit is so like abundant. I said, I feel like I have to add more.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's why if you listen to my music, I incorporate singing, but it's also like it has a rap vibe to it as well.
Yes.
And that's pretty much how I came about with my style that I have now, just from listening to different genres. Mind you, I remember you told me about your uncle and how he had you listening to different songs. My uncle was a big rap fan. You get what I'm saying? You see how they kind of correspond? So I would listen to Michael Jackson and Boyz II Men, and then I got my uncle who's listening to Dipset, the Locks. I don't know if you know these groups, but they're like legendary New York rappers, and it just kind of, I'm like, you know what? This is my spirit. Let me combine both of these, and make it into what I do now.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, bro.
I love that.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm excited to talk about more of what you do with it in a moment. But before
for sure.
I have a couple foundation questions I like to check in with everybody on.
Talk to me.
And this first one's one we ask early. It's one we ask often. And it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Oh, that's a great question. And it wasn't the Michael Jackson one, and it wasn't. The very first album that I bought with my own money? This is a great question. What was it? Give me a moment.
Yeah, no rush.
The very first album, because my auntie brought me... What was the first album I ever bought? I want to say my own money. Mind you, I don't know if I should say this yet because you might ask it later.
I mean, you can say it now.
My thing is, bro, to be honest with you, though I don't buy a lot of albums.
I gotcha.
And I'm not going to act like I haven't bought an album.
Yeah.
But it's been so long because I really don't listen to other people's music, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
But it's been so long, like, let me say.
Yeah, I mean.
Let me think for a minute. I really want to be honest.
Yeah, at the very least, I would say, like, what's, like, the earliest one you can think back of?
The earlier, but I don't want to lie and say it was purchased by me.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Like I said, I don't really buy albums.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't remember who album that I ever bought in my life.
Fair.
Sorry to all my, people that I love.
I got you.
Who would I say? I'm gonna go with no. That's a lie. That's not true. That's not true. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It's not coming to mind right now. I can't even lie to you. I don't want to give you because I can tell you albums that other people bought for me.
Okay. Well, what was one of the? Let's modify the question then just a little bit. What was one of the like earliest albums you remember listening to, like cover to like back and forth, forward and back?
Hands down, Michael Jackson Thriller album.
Okay.
Hands down. For sure. Yeah, Michael Jackson Thriller album. I also got a couple other ones that were really impactful, but I don't want to, if you.
I got you. What are the other two? Just because you've already mentioned that one a couple times here.
Sammy. I don't know if you know who Sammy is. Sammy's an artist, bro. He had the song "I Like the Way You Look at Me."
Yeah,
and he dropped a tape when he got older called I forgot the name of it, but it was a very impactful album to me, as well as Boyz II Men. Not necessarily one particular album.
Yeah, I mean their music was so good.
Bro,
their music was so good.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was pretty much the collective of them in general, and but definitely one album that just sticks into my memory as a child was Michael Jackson laying there. You know what I'm saying? That Thriller album, it was just phenomenal album. So definitely Michael Jackson Thriller for sure.
Hell yeah. And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to that was like specifically one you wanted to go to?
That I wanted to go to? The first live show that I ever been to was Scream Tour 4 back in the day.
Whoa.
Bow Wow and Mario.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
This also was impactful for me because mind you, they had all the women.
Yeah.
They had all the women going crazy.
Oh, after that scene in You Got Served,
Bro.
where it's raining,
Bro.
Oh, no way, no,
Bro.
that was everybody.
I couldn't believe.
There was no way.
I couldn't believe all of the women. I literally was in my mind like they're gods. No, I'm not even joking.
No,
I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm doing for sure. It kind of like I was already on the path, but looking at that live show and just to see how they were praised, just worship for their music. Mind you, they had great records back in the day, especially when you're 14 years old.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, that was the first one I ever been to. Very impactful.
Hell yeah, I dig that.
For sure.
And then before we officially get into the now, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously?
The moment to where I knew like this is what I wanted to do was when I went to California and I was an intern for a big in Hollywood, let's just say, for a big company called the Edmonds Towers. And I got to actually meet all of these celebrities like Amarion, Bow Wow, Chris Brown. I got to meet them in the flesh. Not only that, I got to work with them. And after that experience, bro, it really had me like, yeah, I'm gonna blow, because they really enjoyed, they appreciated my talent. For one, who am I, you know? And I got these people that I grew up to like, yo, these guys is the wave as I'm young. Yeah. And they really was they thought I was dope. So I'm like, that's confirmation for me. Yeah, it's about that time. Yeah. I take this very seriously. And not only that, I was getting paid to intern there just strictly off of, there were people who were in school who you know, I think the school has a program to where they set it up to where you go into professional studios and you get to intern. But because of connections, I just got it solely off of my talent to be able to songwrite. So after that experience, I said, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Like I'm about to this certified it for me. Yeah. So that's what it was for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is a very, very obvious defining moment.
Bro, it defined it. It was like my journey. I'm like, I hear you, God, for sure.
I dig that. Yeah. Well, then let's go ahead. Let's get on into the now.
Talk to me.
We are going to get a super easy one out of the way first, though. Yeah. How'd you pick the name?
My name, Kee'on?
Yeah.
My mother.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. I kind of had a feeling. Yeah. I kind of had a feeling, but I always I had one person once who had the most like, you would have never guessed in a million years. It was a artist name. And they were like, yeah, that's nowhere near my regular name.
Yeah. And for me, bro, I just think and shout out to everybody who uses the different names, like Doubleberry, Bubble Bop, or whatever. But my thing is, I'm just original. Yeah. And I feel like the best way to keep, even with my music, that's just my spirit, you know, to keep the music as original keep my brand name as original as I am. And plus, I think my name is kind of unique. Yeah, it is. Hear everybody name who's Kee'on and stuff like that. So definitely was my mom. Shout out to my mom, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I always do this bit where I break down names just for everybody in general. Yeah. And I got to say, it actually is really cool for two main reasons. One, aesthetically, it looks real good.
It do.
Like
it do.
As a brand, as a logo, with like the letters work well, the shape is solid. But also for being a more unique name, a name that is just not, you know, John, Steve, Henry, Bob, what have you. Yeah. It is not hard to read. It's not hard to pronounce. Like it, like you look at it, it's phonetic, but it's creative, it's 100%. Dynamic. So it kind of has all of the makings of a like quality name to have.
Appreciate you, bro, and that's real. And it comes from my father. My father's name is spelled a little bit like he has like the hyphen, and I got the apostrophe. But
gotcha.
You know, that's when my mom was like, you can have his name, but I got to switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But thank you for that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about your writing process a little bit.
For sure.
And we're going to break it up into chunks, but we're going to start right at the beginning.
Cool.
So now, when you get inspired, you're ready to make music, how do you get a track started?
When I'm getting ready to make music, you know, the beat, the instrumental, is literally like the foundation for me.
Would you say it's instrumental?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I only get one dumb joke a week.
I know, that was fire.
That was
I like
it.
that. I like that. Yes, it is instrumental. But the beat, It really it creates the ambiance.
Yeah.
You know, it creates the vibe for me.
And are you making them yourself, or do you got like a person you go to?
Well, I have all my producers. Well, I have a couple in-house producers, but then I also have people that I reach out to, you know what I'm saying, and utilize, that really love working with me because they love my style.
Yeah.
And I love them, you know what I'm saying? So it's really like we both appreciate our craft. Like, you're dope, I'm dope. Excuse me, you're dope, you're dope. Let's work together.
Yeah. But you're usually getting them from a small pool of people?
Yes, for sure. 100%. 100%. And so aside from when I pick the beat, the beat kind of tells me what part of my journey am I going to apply to this song? What is this beat telling me? Where is it taking me in my life that I've been through before? What do I want to talk about on this beat? So that's probably the first aspect of it for sure.
Okay, I dig that.
Yeah.
And then once you get a beat selected and you're like ready to put, get the words going.
Right.
Are you pen and paper? Are you doing it in your phone? Are you freestyling?
I am big time. This is one thing. And let me tell you this. So I've did this all my life. Whenever I hear a beat, one thing that I think is very important, and this has always been my strategy since a kid, catching the interaction and the feeling with the beat whenever you hear it. I think catching that first interaction, because it's almost like, it's so raw, and like, I'm a freestyler, by the way. Yeah. So it's so raw, and it's like, sometimes it's like the divine is taking hold of you. I'm not even gonna lie. It's like it's almost if like I'm possessed, even though I'm still in control.
Yeah, you're more of the conduit for music to 100%.
Yeah, 100%. And it kind of just takes a hold of me, and it'll start out with mind you, I'm a melodist. So I have beautiful melodies, but the words may be hung mang 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 mang, but it has a melody behind it. So that's pretty much what gives me, okay, that's the melody. Melody is key for me. And when I went to the industry, I realized, I said, wait, hold on a second, because I seen everybody, how they made their music. They do the same exact thing. They play the beat, they put it on and just interact and freestyle. How about that? And they record it and they work from that. And I was shocked because I didn't necessarily take that from them, but I was shocked to be like, yo, y'all do that too? And that's what also had me like, I knew I had a secret. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I knew I had a secret. But yeah, so that's what it is. I like to catch my first interaction with the beat, because for me, it's the best. I get the best. Yeah. I get the best experience from it, to be honest.
Yeah, like you said, there's something about those jumping off moments, like the almost subconscious reaction.
100%.
Like if you can slip in and just pull that out,
100%.
You usually have kind of the best jumping off.
100%. And I love how you said subconscious. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Now, once you get that like melody aspect laid down, do you then go in and pen in the words, or you just
100%? But sometimes that that interaction with the subconscious that I'm having,
it just opens up.
I start to be saying, a lot of times I've realized I freestyle the whole song. Really. Now it may be some parts that's yeah,
you go like, let me go change this one sentence.
Yeah, let me go change this one sentence. But I realized like, yo, I just made a hit. I just did a hit record in the freestyle. All I got to do is fix about 4 bars. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mostly that's usually what it is. But sometimes if I don't have all of the lyrics, I'll just listen to it and kind of put the context to however the beat makes me feel. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Into the record.
Yeah, no, I dig that. And then once you get a track finished writing, so it doesn't have to be like released per se, but like you've got the whole thing, you're ready to start learning it, memorizing it. How long does it usually take you to feel comfortable enough to perform a track?
For me, music, it gets kind of old for me, and I have a problem with this. Like, I like to do things fresh. I feel like. Because if I create a song and I really like it, I'm gonna listen to it a lot. Yeah, and I try to refrain myself from doing that now, so it can still be a beautiful and a fresh thing for me. So the sooner, the better. Yeah, get what I mean? Because I'm still gonna have the spirit behind it. I'm still gonna have that energy to where it's fire. Now, mind you, I have the ability to get back into that pocket whenever need be. But me personally, I think it's always better the fresher the song gets.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Yeah. Will you perform songs before they're released regularly then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. there's nothing wrong with the way anybody chooses to do it, but I'm a big fan when people are like, let me take this outside right now.
Right.
Like, I don't need to wait for them to know the words yet. I want to get out there. I want to do it.
Right.
Because field testing your music really goes a long way towards the final version.
It does. There's been times where I had shows to where I'll do a whole set, and let's say that I've made a song last night that is so stupid, and I mean stupid in a great way.
Yeah.
Straight fire.
Yep.
And I'll test it out, and I'll get such of a reaction. I'll be like, okay, I knew it. And two, I might need to like incorporate this, and like I might need to drop this. I think I need to drop this immediately because they went crazy for this song that's not even out yet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And actually, I did check out some of your music, so we're going to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
So I jumped on, I went all over the place for, like we were saying off camera, and you've got music going all the way back to 2013.
Yeah, I do, bro.
And from the start, and when I say that, I mean from literally the very first track, it was very clear that you had a vibe. Like you had a sound you were going for.
Thank you.
And then by the time you get to your self-titled EP, you were just locked in. Like that in and of itself, huge jump from everything that kind of comes before it. And then everything after that really just, I like how each of your songs added another layer to your sound, another look, he can also do this, look, he can also do that. Like it was obviously you.
Thank you.
But there was a variety, there was a real a real energy to each track. And I mean, honestly, Ghost was probably one of my personal favorites.
I'm gonna be honest,
that because it's just it was, again, it was just, it had this different feel to it. It was like ambient, but it was like locked in. It had a great beat, and your presence, your pace on that track, just it was like listening to music inspired by Enya, but was like modern, like was in the R&B realm, and it just captured all those points.
I'm gonna be honest, I get a lot of people who talk about my older music, man, and they love Ghost. I got like Ghost, Loose Change. A lot of my older songs are classics to people. And Ghost, I actually did that in Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, with one of a great friend of mine. And it was, that's a special song, I'm not gonna lie. In that song, I was probably in one of my darkest places in my life. But that's the beauty about pain.
Yeah, like you took that energy and you transferred it into something 100%, phenomenal.
100%. Yeah, for sure.
But I would be remiss if we didn't talk about your most recent album,
Welcome to the Sun.
Welcome to the Sun, which came out in January of this year. And from start to finish, like Bell the Buzzer, the whole album is super refreshing.
Thank you, brother.
Like I mean, all of it is really good. Each track stands on its own, as well as part of like the whole. It really puts it together.
Thank you.
And I think it kind of exemplifies all of the qualities of your past music,
for sure,
while still bringing you something new, something fresh. And originally, I know you sent in the track "Iconic" for my solo segment I just started,
for sure.
Which y'all should go check that out. Great review, great track.
Thank you, brother.
I heard it and I was just like, there's gotta be more than this.
Yeah,
and there was. So that was actually, that's the reason I even asked you to be on the show.
Yeah, thanks again.
That track really just kind of brought the room when it came in.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. Welcome to the Sun, bro. I don't know if you have any questions about me getting into Welcome in the Sun.
No, please. Tell us everything about
Welcome to the Sun, bro. That album, once again, I really love to put my journey and my pain into songs. But not only that, I like to pay attention and analyze what's going on in the world. And I know it's a lot of artificial things going on, and the dating pool kind of has piss in it right now. So I kind of wanted it to be kind of a refresher. One thing about the Sun is it feeds everything. You know, it's bright. It got a lot of different varieties. And that's one thing that I wanted to, kind of make sure I showed when I did this album. Like, hey, listen, if you dark, come on over here. We're going to light you up real quick. If you're feeling down, if you're lost, come on over here. We're going to get you right and give you this ray of sunshine. You know what I'm saying? So that's really where it comes from. To why heartbreak comes from heartbreak, just paying attention to the world. And yeah, man, that's really, what made me want to bring out That's the reason why I chose that name title too. Because I don't know if it'd be kind of hard sometimes. What the hell am I gonna name?
Oh, don't even get me started on names of things.
I done went through like 17,000 different names, and I just wanted something to really like capture everything in one, and that was a title that I picked, and it fit for me. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, it's really if you can see on the cover, it's a woman walking towards the sun. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to bring people that I feel like that are in a dark time right now.
Yeah.
Come get this joy. Come get this love. Bring your ass over here and get this abundance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much why I named it that.
I dig that. Also, I appreciate that you dropped it in January.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, here is a ray of sunshine during what is usually kind of the grayest, darkest time of our year.
For sure. Yeah, that's a fact.
But now I am curious to know, out of all of the music you have available, what are some of your favorite tracks to perform?
My favorite track to perform, to be honest, hands down, there's a few songs. I love this song called Play Nice. It's on YouTube. It was just a single that I dropped. When I performed that, first time I ever performed that here in Portland, it was probably about 25 people in the audience. By the time I left, I had 20 new fans.
Yep.
They ran up to me as if I was a celebrity already. And I was like, okay, that's sometimes you kind of got when you perform and you go about your just your journey in general, and you have a plan. Once you do certain things, like once you do you perform certain segments that are not a part of your plan, you're like, okay, I got to go back to the lab.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to take my ass back to the lab, because clearly I thought that was just something fun. But I would have to say Play Nice, Iconic. I love Iconic because it kind of gets people beat. I love Mixing. There's a song on my Welcome to the Sun called Mixing. I like it because, it just shows the uniqueness of me, and I like the reaction of people whenever I perform it.
Yeah.
As well as, it was this one song that I used to perform. What's the name of it? I got thousands of records. What the hell is that song called? What is the name of it? I'm sorry, I can't think of. This is horrible.
No, you're all good.
This is horrible. I forgot the name of it, but it was another song that I really enjoyed performing. I can't think of it right now.
So good. If you think about it in post, shoot me a message. And
I'll for sure. I got you. Yeah, I can't think of the name. This is crazy.
No, you're all good.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Like I said, you said it yourself. You have a bunch of music.
I have a gang of music.
I can imagine after a while it's hard to recall the name of every single.
And a lot that's unreleased.
Yeah.
Like I have more unreleased. I don't know if you know about that, but it'd be thousands of songs unreleased that I really, me personally, am attached to, but I'd be forgetting I didn't drop that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I fully understand that.
Yeah, for sure.
That was like when T-Pain did his Everything Must Go albums 1 and 2.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to T-Pain, by the way. Very beautiful artist, man.
Oh, it is well documented on this show.
Legend.
Huge T-Pain fan.
Legend.
Huge T-Pain fan. The track May I off the Oblivion album might be one of my favorite tracks of all time. Not just like of his.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Of all time.
T-Pain is really like the Don Dada, especially during his time. G-O-A-T.
Yeah.
C-O-A-T.
Yeah, no, that.
C-O-A-T.
Yeah, that man is just T-Pain. I'm sure you watch the show. Come on the show. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, straight up.
We're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about you.
Yeah, shout out.
We're going to take a moment. We're going to kind of zoom out a little bit. We're looking at more music as a whole.
Cool.
What are you listening to right now? What are you taking in?
No, I told you earlier I don't really listen to many people. I'm more because a lot of things that I hear aren't really my preference, to be honest with you. So I'm really an instrumentals kind of guy. But honestly, the recent music that I've been listening to was more so rap. Not the drill or the, have you ever heard of Griselda? Benny the Butcher? Mind you, I'm originally from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Conway, what's the West Side Gun? These guys, it just gives me that back in the day vibe. I'm all about the back in the day energy. And to be honest, let me be real. Whenever I do listen to music, it's more of a Return of the Mac. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Love that song. Jeffrey Osborne. I don't know if you ever heard of him. This is more like 80s. I'm a big 80s, 90s pop R&B kind of guy. I love all of that kind of music. It's just nostalgic for me. It's really, they make some of the greatest music ever.
Oh yeah.
So
try to learn the drums to Rock Steady one day. It is not.
I'm telling you.
You hear the beat and you're like, there's a vibe. You sit down and you're like, oh,
I'm telling
what
you.
is happening?
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. So I'm telling you. So I would definitely say, whenever I want to hear some music, I mean, I have my gym set, and that is more of the drill rap, just to get that energy, and you know what I mean? But it's not my everyday listen to. But if I just wanted to vibe, definitely putting on some R. Kelly. I mean, I'm sorry, I know.
I mean,
I know, but you know, but I mean, just more so of that style, Aaron Hall, or but dude, because I don't be listening to people all day. Sometimes the names are.
No, I feel you. I mean, you've given us plenty of answers.
Babyface. You know, what's that one guy? Like I said, I will always listen to Michael Jackson. All of his work. Pretty much all classic songs from the 80s to the 90s is right up my alley.
Oh yeah,
I'll listen to all of them. Like that's just my spirit, to be real.
No, I dig that, and that's I like the question because it's more open ended. Like I just like to know what people listen.
Yeah,
to,
bro. Yeah,
I have these hard swings where like I'll go from. Like I'll do like 3 weeks of music I've never heard before in my entire life. Like it's only like the newest, and then I'll like go back to the like 7 albums that like changed my life.
Right.
So it's like I'll like coffee grind.
Yeah.
Get a little sniff of like what I know, clear the palate, and then be like, all right, I'm ready to dive in.
For sure.
Show me what I haven't. So I just like knowing what people are taking in, just because listening to music is fun.
And to be honest with you, I said names like Aaron Hall, but I don't even really listen. Let me tell you how much I don't listen to music. One of my best friends, shout out to my best friend, that's his artist that he likes to listen to.
I gotcha.
So I just named artists.
It'd still be in the room with you.
Yeah, it would be, but I'm gonna be honest, that's not really names that other, like, I do listen to Jeffrey Osborne and other people like that, but the reason that I named Aaron Hall is because that's something that I heard from my friend speaking. It's not really an artist that I listen to. I'm just very truthful. I don't like to be
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's not really me.
Yeah,
because I couldn't name you an Aaron Hall song right now, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
That is totally fine.
So I just wanted to let that be known.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because you were mentioning classic names earlier, I'm just going to check in real quick. Thoughts on Bobby Caldwell?
I don't know who that is.
He did What You Won't Do for Love.
I go.
The What You Won't Do, do for love.
Oh, yes. You're everything.
Yep.
All of me. Oh, yes, indeed.
Yep.
Definitely. That's the energy I'm talking about. All of those. I suck with names, bro.
That's okay.
I suck with names.
That's okay. I just kind of wanted to get there for that track because, man.
Definitely legendary record. That's my vibe. The thing is, we were speaking about YouTube earlier. I just hop on the playlist.
Yeah.
I hop on the playlist and let it go. Whenever I want to set the ambiance, if I got a little shorty over, something like that, I just hop on and things like that. That's definitely right up my alley. It speaks to my soul. And my friends was telling me, Kee'on, you got to get more familiar with the names because I've been in rooms with people, legends, and wouldn't even know who I'm sitting next to. That's not good.
I mean, in some ways, I think they appreciate that a little bit, depending on like how big they are. That's just what I've heard.
Right.
Some of the bigger names are like, wait, we could just have a conversation about anything but except how great I am.
Right.
Yeah, like let's do it. But no, I mean, I think knowledge of like what's come before us is important to a degree.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, man, we're in a time right now where you have 80,000 million trillion songs.
Oh my God.
In your pocket.
Oh my God. In your pocket.
Yeah, like we got mad when YouTube put their album on our iPods without asking. Now we have every conceivable song imaginable in our pocket.
Yo, dead serious. So that's why, on top of that, it'd be hard for me to really remember who the hell the name and just like that song, I know that's you. I really love that song, but I couldn't think of it. I didn't know that.
Well, that was also his catalog was bizarrely known of because like that song obviously huge, and he's got a bunch of other quality jams, but like it was just one of those times. Like, I don't think anybody else can name another song by the Whispers except for Rocksteady. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, like there was just some music permeates the length of times.
Right, yo, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm all about, classic. That's so when you ask me what do I listen to, bro, I really don't be here in this modern time whenever I listen to other things. I take it back. Back in the day.
That's all right. There's still plenty to be found from then. And what is old will become new.
For sure.
Yeah.
One thing that I do realize is that a lot of this the new school, they take a lot from back in the day. Like every time I was just kicking it with one of my guys and I was finding out like, wait, hold on, slow that down a little bit. Wait, isn't that 1994? I'm telling you, lot, it's in a lot of music.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
All right, but I've still got one last question to go in this middle portion. So we're going to jump into it, but this is probably the densest question in the interview.
Come on.
We've talked about, your experience with music, the actions, the reactions, but when it's just you and music, one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
Oh, man. It's one of the most abundant therapeutic release. Like it's like sitting with God. After I'm done with a session, like after I'm done really having that good sex with that music, with the incorporeal, we just in there, you know what I'm saying, doing the bachata together. I feel like I've been rejuvenated. I feel like it's as if I really seen the music notes come into my soul and bounce back off, right? Like you ever had a massage?
Yes.
When that massage, that pressure and it's just being released, that's what it feels like to me. Like it's just something coming in my soul and just rubbing me up real good and then getting the hell on.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I just left the sauna or something. Like all my body, it's almost orgasmic for me, bro.
Yeah.
And not only that, when I realize if I'm having a tense time or if I'm going through heartbreak, it also allows me to remind me I am him. It lets me know, it gives me that reassurance that, you thought you was a piece of shit last week or tonight. She broke your heart, didn't she? She sure did. But after I just created this or I had this experience with music, this is a reminder, you are divine. You are a creator.
Oh yeah.
Don't fall short, during this time that you was, even though you was depressed as hell about 20 minutes ago, this is going to build you up and remind you what you are. So that's what music gives me confidence. Music for me is a reminder. It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really does something for me. Like it truly does. That's how I know it's beyond the eye. It's spiritual for me. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I love that. I like the push and pull of your experience with music too, because it is very it is both sides. Like you have the element where you're like, music comes through me. It's on its way out.
Right,
but at the same time, music reflects you to you. It lets you see you again. You can put yourself in it and take yourself out of it.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's almost like, that's why I said sex.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
You're putting yourself in it.
Hey, listen, waxing that musical ass.
Yeah, I got you.
Being honest.
Oh yeah, I dig that.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you so much for sharing
Of course, yeah, for sure.
Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to some hypothetical questions.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, and for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well.
Cool.
But this first one is pretty straightforward.
Let's get it.
If you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive.
Okay.
Who would you want to work with? Yep, it gets everybody.
You just took it a majority of my artists.
Yep.
Okay.
But who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
Can I have a moment?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so you said if I could work with one artist, who would it be? Can they be rappers?
That could be anybody.
I would want to work with Jadakiss.
Okay.
I would want to work with Jadakiss.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that is an out of the cuts answer. I did not expect that.
I want to work with Jadakiss.
How would you want to work with him?
When you say how, do you mean like live performance?
I mean, it could be anything. Like, yeah,
I would want to work. I would want to make. I would want to create a song with Jadakiss, like within the realm of the studio. I would want us to sit down, marijuana all through the essence of the air, and just really because he gives. I think his ruggedness complements what it is that I do. Mind you, I be singing and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So I would just want to work with him. Yeah, within the realm of the studio. You know what I'm saying? Just creating and picking his brain, you know, but not just, I don't want it to be strictly just music. I would want to have a conversation so we could be able to establish a relationship, to be able to build that bond to where we could create something dope, you know, to where we, okay, me and you, this is what we agree on, this is how we are. So yeah, just like, you know, in the realm of the studio, you know what I mean? I would love to also, I have to write it, by the way. One thing about me, I'm kind of like a rapper.
I gotcha.
Don't touch my lyrics, brother.
I gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it have to be like that within the confinements of the studio for sure. But not like, you know, you ever been to a multi-million-dollar studio? Just how everyone's chilling. It's kind of like a family. You know, we all hanging out. I would love it to be just like that, you know. But of course, I would have to respect the hierarchy.
Of course.
Within the experience of how long he been in there for sure. So I would definitely be in my student mode. You know what I mean? Learning and understanding how things operate and just soaking up that game. But definitely Jadakiss, hands down.
Hell yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet?
That I haven't gotten.
Yeah, but you would like to.
Who is a local artist that I haven't gotten to connect with?
Yep.
Man, who the hell is local? I'm not really from here, and I do be in my own circle, but let me be honest. Who is a local artist that I think is dope? That I will work with, you said, that I haven't worked with.
Yeah, at least like you haven't like connected with yet.
I haven't connected with yet. I do not be looking for people. Okay, and that's my problem, bro. Part of my problem is, and that's what I'm working on this year, is breaking out of my what's
Your
the
circle?
word? My circle. Like, you know, I'm trying to break out of me being such an individualist. That I'm like, okay, I have to incorporate other people and just make those, you know, connections. Because one thing about the sun, it just sit there by itself.
Everything else kind of circles around it.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, and that's why I kind of, but let me think. Well, because in the Portland area, mind you, I'm in Vancouver, but a lot of I know.
Shout out Vancouver, that's where we're at. Yeah.
Shout out Vancouver, man. That's where I live. But a lot of people that I know is in Portland. So I'm going to have to take it to the Portland area.
Yeah, no, totally.
I would have to say, I think I heard of this guy before. Mike Capes. Yeah, I heard he got some bars on him. And I think that'd be dope. Oh, here's one. I think what's the guy name? Soul Lunar.
Oh, Soul Luna.
Soul Luna. Yeah, I think Soul Luna's dope.
Yeah, he's doing big stuff too.
He's like a different vibe. It's almost way different from what I do. But I would definitely like to see what's up with him. You know what I'm saying? And see what kind of, you know, chemistry we can make in the studio, because it's kind of a little. I actually think that I would be of benefit to him though, because of the kind of music he makes, and I'm so versatile with my songwriting. I think we could create some crazy work together.
I dig that. Yeah. Well, you don't know what to do. At them both in the comments. Let's see if we can make that happen.
For sure. Yeah.
And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limit, and it's pretty literal in this sense. But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power, it's guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show, and it doesn't have to be a venue. It could be anywhere. Where would you want to perform?
Wow, that's great.
And I know you've been a fair amount of places.
Man, I've been all over the world, but I'm sorry, bro. I got to keep it my state. I want to go to that Madison Square Garden. I want that Madison Square Garden sold out.
And if it makes you feel any better, I also wanted to do that for this show. Like that was always like the end goal. And then another podcast named Kill Tony beat me to it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. They sold out Madison Square Garden 2 days in a row as a podcast.
Damn. Oh, I just thought of another local. Well, you said that I haven't connected with, and I kind of already connected with.
You can say who it is.
Shout out to Wavy Joseph, man.
Yo, shout out to Wavy Joseph.
Shout out to Wavy Joseph. That's my guy. Me and him actually work together. Like, we actually got some shit coming for y'all that's going to be
that's going to be game changing.
It's going to be insane. Me and Wavy finna really shut the scene down. So, shout out to Wavy. I only said I didn't say him because you said that I had it.
Yeah. No. I mean,
out to Wavy.
Any opportunity to shout out Wavy Joseph is
for sure. That's my
I do
dog.
that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And he actually he has a live performance episode coming out from the showcase I just did in a couple weeks after this. So stay tuned in for that. Sure.
Shout out to Wavy, man. That's my guy. Word.
Hell yeah. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody.
One more out. They could be dead?
Yep, live, dead, not put out an album in 100 years. Could have put out an album yesterday.
Okay.
Who would you want an album from?
One more album. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Michael Jackson freak. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Michael Jackson fanatic, but let me be honest. It might have to be Boyz II Men.
I would love another Boyz II Men album.
I would love to hear that.
I think right now we need that more.
I think we do. Yeah. That's why I said Mike is awesome. Shout out to the GOAT. But I think I need to hear that Boyz II Men. Just imagine what that'll probably sound like right now.
It would be life changing.
Oh, bro.
It would be life changing.
Definitely Boyz II Men.
Especially because right now, and I always say this with the heaviest grain of salt, I feel like Boyz II Men was like, they were slept on out loud.
Facts.
Like if you were in the know, if you actually knew the music, you knew them at the top. Like they were high up there. But there was just this barrier they didn't break.
That's true.
Per se, that never got them to quite that space.
That's very true.
But they were legendary.
Still legendary as hell, man.
Yeah.
You know, like. Still to this day, I find myself, and let me tell you something. If you want to serenade a woman, all right, you want to show her what intimacy and romance is, you hop on that Boyz II Men, that Colors of Love, okay? You better hop on that, The Water Runs Dry, but I guarantee you her water won't run dry. Come on, just being honest. Shout out the Boyz II Men.
Yeah, no, I mean, if y'all are watching, appreciate it.
Yeah, straight up.
All right, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up.
Okay, awesome.
What can we look forward to between, let's say, now and August?
Now in August, shows. I'm about to be performing crazy. Not only that, I got another tape coming out this year.
Okay.
I'm not playing no games. Along as a couple singles and some visuals. Y'all about to see a lot more of me. For sure. Please be on the lookout for me because I'm coming 2025. We're finna make it scream alive.
Hell yeah. Well, when you put out the new album, definitely come back. Let's do a tuned in episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I already know it's gonna be good.
Hey Jimmy, shout out to you, man. Like you really a pioneer out here because y'all would have never knew me and I would have never had the opportunity to show my beautiful face on this camera if it wasn't for you, bro. So I truly appreciate you, digging into the local artists because even though we not famous yet, it's people like you that give us an opportunity to express ourselves to what we come from, you know what I mean? And we need that, you know what I mean? You make me feel like I'm on the Joe Rogan podcast. I mean, excuse me, but I'm on the Jimmy Jam. You know what I mean? No offense, Joe, but I'm on the Jimmy Jam right now. So yeah, once again, thank you, bro, for allowing this opportunity for people like me, to share with my fans that I do have to where I come from and why I do it. For real, it's much appreciated.
Oh, for sure, man. Of course, always happy to do it.
Sure.
For this next one, go and look straight at your camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
So listen, you can find me on that Instagram, KEE__ON. Also on YouTube, KEE_ON. Now my album might be, don't worry, just search up my YouTube and you're gonna find my name. Make sure you subscribe because I got a lot of new content that's about to come and flood the internet. So yeah, that's how you can find me.
And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Man, shout out to God, man. Shout out to God. Shout out to my family. Shout out to all my friends. My brother AJ. Shout out Dom. Shout out my mom, my pops. Shout out, I just want to shout out everybody shout out to Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? I just want to shout out everybody who's been beneficial in my journey of life. You know what I'm saying? And my sisters, I love you, boo. My brothers. Shout out to everybody who's just Kimmy. I just, it's mostly family that I like to shout out around here. I don't know about y'all, but shout out to everyone that I love and that's been just beneficial to me on my journey. It really means a lot to me. Hey, and we just getting started.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, with that being said, I've got one last question to go.
To me, yeah.
But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second.
Do your thing.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, the final question.
Yes, indeed.
And this is entirely up to your interpretation. And I know you said you're not the biggest on names, so I'm sorry we're ending it with that.
That's okay. It's okay.
But in all of music, what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? So it's a bit of deep cut. Meaning not a lot of people would know.
Not a lot of people would know.
Not a lot of people would know.
I think it would go. I'm sorry. Are you
but it is one you think everybody should know.
Okay. I think I'm gonna be honest. I think it's that Sammy's album. Can I look up the name of it? Bro, I need to look up this name because this album is really phenomenal. Hold on.
You're all good.
I'm sorry.
No, you're cool.
Figure out the name of it. Hold on. I think it's just Sammy. That might be it's just the name of the yeah, it's just titled Sammy.
Okay.
It's just titled Sammy.
Easy enough, yeah. Self-titled.
I think he dropped it in like 2000 and I want to say 12 or 8. Okay. It's where he's kind of looking like Michael Jackson. Look here, I'll show you. He kind of. I don't know what it is with his stance where people.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Like
yep.
But y'all have to check out that album. That album was definitely fire. It's, it was profound for me in my life. Like it really, it was beneficial for me. But check out that Sammy album. It's just called Sammy, Sammie. It's a very dope album, great vocals. I know the ladies will love it, so check that out whenever they get a chance, for sure.
Oh yeah, well that is a super solid record.
Yeah, yes sir.
All right, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Jimmy, for real, bro.
For sure.
It was an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Kee'on. Boom.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.